On today's wrestling news, WWE thinks Sasha Banks is unworthy of top star money.
We've got a huge update on John Cena's WWE return match.
Big production changes coming to AEW soon.
And AEW's TV partners reportedly did not want Chris Jericho on Ring of Honor Final Battle.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? Yes, my name is Phil James and I'm joined by Gareth Morgan to talk all things wrestling news. But before we get into it, make sure you like the video, comment down below what you think of each of today's stories. What else? Subscribe to the channel, and links to each story is in the description. That's the thing. Click the timestamps. Off you go. First up, WWE and Sasha Banks. This is a long and storied story. This is going well.
Great start.
Great start. So this is all coming from Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer. Basically, Sasha Banks wanted to be paid on the same level as Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, and WWE did not think she was worthy of that for some unknown, ridiculous reason. So Meltzer mentioned that some of the top female talents earn like over $1 million a year, and that's what Sasha was after, like kind of like similar pay parity on those kind of levels. But WWE never even came close to matching those numbers. They see her as, and this is a quote from the thing, somebody who has already peaked as a top star, and that they don't believe she will be on top for the next 5 years. They do think that she is someone that can at least be called upon for a singles run or a tag team title run. What?
Yeah.
Sasha goddamn Banks, what are you talking about, you crazy, crazy, crazy people?
I can't, what, she's like 31, is it, that I'm reading? 31? Yep. My head's fallen off. Bad. There's it's people insane. They've built this company around in the 40s, and you've got somebody who's definitely up there as like a generational performer. I'm sorry, that's not hyperbole. Like she's outstanding. She's crossover star. Like she's got everything. And someone's just said that to try and justify this decision. Clearly, is like trying to save face and go, oh yeah, we actually didn't want it. It's just nonsense, absolute nonsense. Like Becky Lynch is outstanding, Charlotte Flair's outstanding, but Sasha's right in there without a shadow of a doubt. So for me, it's more fool you. Somebody else is going to take this star, earn a ridiculous amount of money, like through just presenting her as the absolute bona fide superstar she is, and she's going to get. It's brilliant. I love this because we've got all these alternatives now. Maybe a couple of years ago, 5 or 10 years ago, this wouldn't have been a viable option, and Sasha might have had to either go, right, I'm just not going to wrestle anymore, or just suck it up and just take the cut, not the cut, but generally not get the money that she, I think, deserves. Whereas now we're in this brilliant scenario where you can have all these competitors going, actually, yeah, we think you are really worth this money. There you go, have it. And she's in a great position. She has the cards. It's fantastic. I'm so glad it appears that she's getting what she's worth. And the cards are in her hand. She's got a future. She's not being kind of held to one person's whims, and she's doing what she wants. I've got a rant in me on this because I just think she's class. I think she's class, and anytime somebody bets on himself, I'm so there. I'm in. I'm in on it.
I don't know how they can justify this. I mean, someone that does see potential in Sasha Banks is obviously New Japan, because there's loads of reports about her future and where she's off to next, and it does seem like she is off to New Japan next year. Apparently, as part of like when she left WWE earlier in the year, as part of the negotiation talks that they had, the WWE agreed that they wouldn't freeze her contract if she agreed not to wrestle until 2023. So that's why she's been gone from wrestling for so long. But I mean, since then, she's been doing loads of goddamn things. I mean, she obviously had a Star Wars appearance in that, but she like went straight out there. She's been doing loads of red carpets, loads of Marvel stuff. But she was like on the catwalk and modeling at New York Fashion Week. She's got a makeup line coming, ready to launch.
I'm pretty sure she's looking to get into music video directing as well at one point. She's so talented. Like
huge social following. She's absolutely massive on social media, and like the world is her oyster right now. But like I say, New Japan see her as someone who has this huge mainstream appeal that they can use, funnily enough, and that's why they want to bring her in. It's likely they are going to bring her in for at least one Stardom show as well. They've got a show coming up that they want to be their biggest show of the year, biggest show ever, I think, even. And that's going to be happening in April, and that's going to be announced at the end of this month, probably. So there'll be something coming up about Sasha Banks wrestling in Stardom as well, but it's mostly a New Japan deal, and it's Bushiroad, who is the company that owns both those companies, New Japan and Stardom. They see Sasha Banks as this huge mainstream appeal. Voices of Wrestling has also reported that Sasha Banks' deal is the largest biggest per event deal that New Japan has ever made, and that includes Chris Jericho in that, which is kind of massive. And Jericho recently said as well that while estimates that are out there online about how much he has made through his New Japan run are completely wrong, he did say that he made more per event with New Japan than most of his WrestleMania matches, which is pretty big payoffs. So if WWE doesn't see that she's worth top star money, New Japan certainly does, and I'm assuming there's another little wrestling company out there that would also see huge potential in a Sasha Banks run. But this is it, the world's her oyster. I don't understand WWE's point of not seeing her as a top star. She's genuinely incredible. She's one of the best wrestlers in the world, like wrestlers full stop in the world. She's got this massive mainstream appeal. She's obviously got like leads to do sort of more acting and stuff in the future as well. Like the mainstream appeal is only going to grow from here. I don't understand it. It's like, surely this mainstream crossover kind of star thing is what WWE has been after for the last 20 years. I don't understand it.
And speaking of crossover stars that they've been looking for the last like 20 years, there is one person, well, there's been a couple obviously, but one rather specific person that's done very well. Looking at Mr. John Cena, who's gone off and done his Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, just a bit of everything really. He's in the Fast and Furious stuff. He's a Hollywood sensation, but he'll never forget his roots. And on SmackDown, you will know that obviously we reported, I think it was last week, that he's going to be on the 30th of December SmackDown. Like we were saying, oh, we don't know what it's going to be, whether he's just going to pop up and do another promo and nothing and walk away, or maybe he'll have a match. Well, it's now been confirmed that the latter is going to be true, because Roman Reigns was on SmackDown with the rest of his bloodline, and it was a typical kind of show-long thing where there was a lot of tension backstage, and then eventually they were saying, oh, we want a tag match, we want to teach Kevin Owens a lesson, he can have a partner of his choosing, I'm going to team up with Sami Uso and we'll see what goes down. And then in like the closing angle of the night, I believe it was the closing angle, we had this like big moment with Reigns. We were saying this is what's going to happen, and then out of nowhere, the face that runs the place, Mr. You Can't See Me, popped up on the Tron and he said, well, Mr. Kevin Owens, a very long-time friend, if you know, obviously, their storied history together. He said, I need a partner for this match coming up, and I'm going to be there next week, so let's do this thing. And he swore as he went off as well. He's a very naughty boy. I mean, naughty boy, Mr. Cena, and he's nice as well. He did like a whole like Christmas fused kind of promo thing on the way out, because he just loves this thing. He went fully hammy and cheesy, but that's what you get with John Cena, really. He was explosive energy and everything else. And I'm easily pleased. Give me the festive season. Give me John Cena, maybe a one-off match, or whether this is going to lead into anything coming up to the Rumble season, I don't know. But for now, this is just a nice little treat for the end of the year. Like, I think his last match was with the Mysterios, where he teamed with the Mysterios against the Bloodline. So obviously there's the long running thing with Roman and Cena anyway, but just having him mixed into that with the Kevin Sammy stuff, there's a lot of nice kind of storytelling meat to get your teeth sunk into with this one. So I'm giddy. I'm excited.
100%. Yeah, me too. I'm fascinated to see where it goes. Personally, I kind of want this to be like where sort of it feels like the Bloodline are going to lose or something, but then Sami Zayn comes in, somehow saves the day, like gets a pin clean over John Cena, and that's a way of like WWE like re-legitimizing Sami Zayn like as an in-ring competitor, because that would be like a huge name that he could say that he beat, and then sort of the added respect, I guess, from Roman Reigns of winning the match or something like that. I think, and then there's another ripple of wherever they take that down the line. I think that'd be an interesting way to do it, but whatever it is, it's kind of fascinating. It's such a weird match. Who had this on your sort of last main event of WWE in 2022 bingo card list of John Cena and Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns? Didn't see that coming a year ago. And
it was going to be like the first year ever, or like in like 20 years, where Cena hadn't wrestled a match, and then he was just like, nope.
Yeah, just squeeze one in at the end.
That's great.
This year. I love it. Whatever happens, big fan. Excited to see where it goes. But speaking of, well, not speaking of really anything, AEW, there's going to be some big production changes coming to AEW very soon. And this is something I'm quite interested in personally. But this is because they've just hired the ex-WWE Vice President of Global Television Production, Michael Manchuri. He has recently been hired as AEW's Senior Vice President and Co-Executive Producer, alongside Tony Khan as the other co-executive producer, quite obviously. So this is coming from the Wrestling Observer again. Apparently Warner Brothers Discovery and Tony Khan have both decided to change up the look and feel of Dynamite a little bit. And this will be coming along sometime in January. No word as to when exactly, but I guess if you're going to change up the look and feel of a show, you may as well do it right from the beginning of the year and kick it off from there. But loads of people speak very highly of this Michael Manchuri guy. A WWE source said that Manchuri was a tremendous asset and was being groomed to be the heir apparent to Kevin Dunn. But then he moved up the ranks too quickly, and that's when Kevin Dunn decided to covertly make his life difficult. Was the quote there. He spent 11 years in WWE. People that have worked with him said he's a fantastic addition to any team. But then between Kevin Dunn making his life difficult and then Pat McAfee wanted a new executive producer for his show, he thought now's the time to leave. So he went off to do a executive producer for Pat McAfee's show, and then he went off to do some stuff with an MMA company as well, and has obviously been hired by AEW Dynamite. But by AEW, not AEW Dynamite, but the look and feel of Dynamite hasn't really changed in the last sort of 3 years since it started. It's obviously the same set, the same sort of production feel, the same music, everything feels like it hasn't really changed in 3 years. And when you look at sort of WWE production, I mean, you could say what you want about all the camera cuts and things like that, but they change up the look and feel of the shows quite often to try and keep things feeling a bit fresh, a bit new. And I think it's probably overdue for Dynamite, because it hasn't changed in a long time, and it's starting that sort of nostalgic feel to it that they had at the beginning of it, that sort of WCPW nostalgia. It's kind of starting to feel a little bit old now, and I'm kind of really excited about a production change up for AEW.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't need a drastic overhaul where it needs to become a WWE 2.0 or anything like that. It just needs cleaning up a little bit. That's all it needs. It just needs tightening up, giving a bit more polish, just a few little tweaks here and there. It might seem like a drastic change when it does happen in January. It might be like, whoa, this is nothing like the AEW that we used to.
But if it does, to be fair.
Yeah, but I think it's not going to be a case of just pumping out loads of the LED screens everywhere like WWE have done. I think Tony Khan will be wise enough to go, right, I know what this company still needs, the heart and soul of what a wrestling show should be, but it just needs freshening up. Like you said, just needs another few little bits and bobs.
On that note as well, the Michael Manchuri guy, if I was in a company where you were kind of being groomed for Kevin Dunn's spot and then he kind of made your life really difficult, you'd want to put your own stamp on something that is different to his and better in a way. He's not going to be doing the same kind of camera cut production. It's not going to be the same sort of glitzy, showy LED screen kind of style thing that WWE do. It's going to look different because both Tony Khan and this Michael Manchuri guy will know that it needs to look different.
So are you telling me we're not going to have a digital graphic of Kenny Omega doing this? Is that
really bad animated stuff?
Is that we're going to a bronze statue doing that? Yeah, no, is that not? Yeah, let's not do that. WWE, let's not do that as well. Why not? Just stop that. Any person that literally any person that looks over my shoulder when I'm watching a wrestling pay-per-view or something, or just a Roman Reigns entrance, they see that and instantly look at me going, "Is that a glitch? Is something broken on your tail?" And I'm like, "Nope, that's a choice." Not great. But keeping with the AEW stories right now, obviously you've got your a lot of people to please in AEW, and a lot of people probably in AEW, like you said, have said we want to change up the look of the show, keep it fresh, keep things moving forward. But another thing that we're talking about very recently, or at least the TBS SVP Sam Linsky was talking about behind the scenes, was reportedly not being fully for Chris Jericho being on Ring of Honor Final Battle. Now, obviously, Ring of Honor, AEW, they're both owned by Tony Khan. He's been mixing up talent left, right, and centre just to give Ring of Honor a bit of credibility and just keep the show on the road kind of thing. But Sam Linsky in particular was thinking that having Jericho on Ring of Honor didn't make sense because he was obviously one of the top guys in AEW, and it just felt a bit odd having him carted out and trotted out onto that show. And at one point in time, they were that against it, TBS in general, executives there. They actually had a plan in place that would have seen Jericho drop his Ring of Honor World Championship to Claudio Castagnoli in the Full Gear four-way match that happened obviously with Bryan Danielson, Sammy Guevara. That was a tentative plan. Obviously, it was reversed in the end because everyone kind of got on the same page, and they said, yeah, you know what, Jericho being on Ring of Honor probably makes sense for everyone, really. It gives the belt a bit more prestige. Having Jericho anywhere, it's not going to take anything away from AEW. It's just going to make AEW look really good. Having him on other pay-per-views, it's fine. So that was all fine and dandy in the end, and he's had a lot of news recently, Jericho. I think it was announced announced that he's going to be in another film. I think it's called like Dark Match or Death Match or something. He's going to be like one of the leads in that. So that's cool. And obviously he's had an eventful week in the ring, getting battered by what's his name? Action Andretti. He got battered by him out of nowhere. So it's been a bit of a week for Jericho.
Yes, indeed. It's an interesting one though, because it's. I mean, this is wild speculation on my part, but if they're sort of not wanting Chris Jericho to be involved in the sort of Ring of Honor stuff, or they wanted to keep it to AEW, it doesn't really bode well for Ring of Honor in general as a brand, does it really? Obviously, like, we're not entirely sure what's going to happen with the Ring of Honor brand going forwards, but it's like, if the television executives are sort of vaguely against it, doesn't bode well. Yeah,
it's probably why they've not found a way to like knock it into TBS or TNT right now, and they've gone for the website streaming service as like the weekly TV offering as well. I think it all kind of points to TBS not being big fans maybe of Ring of Honor. Maybe not. We don't know. We're just speculating. But
I will end the video there and move over to your Twitter questions. The last one.
We were just stopping there, Phil. I panicked. I was like, no, not now. Having so much fun.
The first Twitter question comes from Hector Garcia III, who asked 3 questions. You get 1, Hector. So we're just going to go with his first question. What is your top 3 favorite tag team finishers? So we may as well pick one each and then pick another one, I guess.
Yeah, and deliberate. I like the Big Rig. I know it was the Shatter Machine at one point, but it was just respectably called the Big Rig after John Huber's passing. So yeah, I like the Big Rig. Explosive, nice synchronized. When it's synchronized and like if they use it like out of nowhere, it's kind of like an RKO. You're just like, whoa, where did that come from? It's great. I love that one.
I mean, that is good, but the move that they kind of, stole from the 3D is obviously gonna be better. I'm sorry, it just is.
Cutter Merchant.
So the 3D is, that's my favorite all time. It's the best. It's fantastic. The amount of just fantastic moments of the Dudleys doing 3D through tables and things. You just can't beat it, I'm afraid. And for the final one,
let's try and say the same one on the count of 3. Okay, I've got one in mind. It's a famous one. All right. So 3, 2, 1. Heart
Doomsday
attack.
Device.
God damn it. Yeah, that's why we love wrestling. There's so many options, and you got the wrong one, Phil. But
you got the top 4. Let us know in the comments below what your favourite tag team finishes are. Obviously, we can't agree on everything.
No,
next question comes from Shane Below, who says, what are some of your favourite shows on the WWE Network that aren't Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Premium Live Events, so non-wrestling stuff on the WWE Network?
I don't think it's still running one of them, so I did used to like Ride Along, but I don't think that's a thing anymore. That was great. It's fun to see people on the road and kind of drop the veil and go into takeaways on the way home and having a chat. I think that's funny. But I like the Table for 3 stuff. Again, it's food orientated, bit weird, but I just like people sat around
watching wrestlers eat.
I'm a weird guy, Phil.
Fair. So yeah, my mind always goes to the like WWE 24s and the Chronicles and stuff. I always like the little behind the scenes snippets, but again, I was also going to go with Table for 3 because the best thing on the WWE Network is the Table for 3 with Daniel Bryan and Ryback and I can't remember who the third
Wade Barrett
was. It
or Dolph Ziggler.
Or Ziggler. It's someone like that.
It's one of them. Yeah.
But they basically just spent 30 minutes eating food and bullying Ryback, and it's
hilarious.
Absolutely beautiful. Oh, sorry.
It was the most
Ryback.
The Ryback. It was one of the most like unlikely friendships I think that I'm wrestling that I know. Like Daniel Bryan and Ryback just like teasing each other.
It was definitely an abusive relationship as well.
Oh yeah. It was brilliant though.
It was genuinely funny. If you've never seen it, go and watch it straight after this video.
Merry
go to the
Merry
WWE
Christmas.
Network, go to Peacock or whatever, and sit and watch 30 minutes of Daniel Bryan mocking Ryback relentlessly.
Oh.
It is beautiful.
Good times.
Love it. And the final question of the day comes from Eddie Zamari, who says, what is your favourite WhatCulture video you filmed this year?
Oh, this year. I was going to say the quizzes, but I think they were last year. So I think on a technicality.
Only just.
I'd probably say the day that I had to travel all the way to Newcastle in the evening for about 3 hours, whatever it was, 3 or 4 hours, and then got straight off the train, ran into the office. Murray had already put the live camera on for the stream of WrestleMania 28 38, sorry, night 1, 28, went back in time on the train. It was great. It was 10 years ago. No, it was, night 1, whatever it was, and then we watched all that. I was on death's door, slept on the couch for 2 hours, got up, got the train, came straight back home. But it was a fun video. I was in the middle of playing a tiger on stage for a couple of weeks. It was a lot. It was a lot. A bit of a blur, to be honest, yeah.
Good stuff. Mine is the ups and downs for night 2 of WrestleMania, live in Dallas, because we just got this massive live crowd outside of the stadium, and it was genuinely incredible. And I also really enjoyed filming the ups and downs for the SmackDown before WrestleMania, because me and Miller had to duck out in between SmackDown and the Hall of Fame to go and film it to get it online. And then so he was like in the corridors of the stadium that we were in the arena, trying to film, but also not let anyone see us in case we got kicked out and couldn't go to the Hall of Fame. So it's just us being really quiet, hiding around the corner of a corridor in the arena. But the one after night 2 of Mania, genuinely absolutely incredible.
They were good.
The people there were absolutely fantastic. Always lovely to be amongst all of you beautiful people. So yeah, it was really, really good fun.
The live ones are great. I always go out my way to watch them. I like the Clash at the Castle one as well. They're class. Yeah, they're a big fan. Cannot recommend any more highly than I am now.
Words. Yes. Words are good. So that's it. Thank you very much for joining us. It's the last news video of 2022 with me and Gareth. There will be more news videos, just not with this specific team, so watch out for those. And thank you very much for joining us all this year. We get to make stupid videos about wrestling because of you, so thank you very, very much. And have a lovely, lovely holiday time, everyone. You can go follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at PhilMyChambers. You can follow Gareth at
GMorgan04.
And you can follow all of us at WhatCulture WWE. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Subscribe to the channel, watch more videos, and most importantly, have yourselves a bloody good day and holiday times things. Yes, bye.
Mistletoe. Mwah.